Hello everyone, Abby here, Purple Cottage Crafts, and I thought I would just do a video sharing with you my not so very organized sewing setup when I'm upstairs in bed watching classic movies and it's just not, feeling up to going out to my room and that kind of thing. So it started with one tote little, it started actually, I think with one of these baskets this size, and now it has grown into this many. And luckily I have such a patient husband who does not care that I have bins of sewing items upstairs in the bedroom. Bella's over here in the corner, so you might hear her playing around in her bed over there if you hear any noises. So what I have here is I kind of organize myself for what I want to work on while I'm upstairs anyway, into these little bins. Now these I got from Home Depot, and I got these pre-COVID, the first two, and then before things got to be, as like the social distancing and stuff, I went back and gotten a few more. So I think I have a total of 6 or 8, because I've got some down in my craft room too. But they were just under $3 a piece, and I really like them. They're nice. I'm going to go back and probably get some more once everything's back to normal, because they're great for storage. So this is my tray here that I'm working, like my lap. This is, I need to make myself a stitching pillow. I haven't done that yet, but what I'm using is just, those little lap trays you can get, and this has the underside that's soft. So I just took one of my thrifted older, sorry, it has to focus there, pillowcases, and I just pinned it down, and this is what I use. So I know it's makeshift, but it works for what I need, because I can put it up my lap. And so these are just some linens that I just came across when I was in my room the other day. Little bits. I love it when I go thrifting, and whether it be yard sales or whatever, and I find just these little nuggets like this, and I'll find things like this from yard sales, and they're like, oh, I'll just give it to you. I was just going to throw these things away. And I was like, what? Don't ever throw these kind of things away. Here's my number. Call me. So I tend to get to collect little bits like this. And these are the items that I'm totally okay with. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this with my, let me switch hands here. These are the kind of items I'm totally okay with snipping apart and using, because, they already were damaged when they came to me. And some of these were already cut apart or pieces missing, things like that. So I just wanted to go ahead and grab those and bring those up, and then I'll fold these much nicer, but they're gonna go into this that tote there. So I kind of wanted to show you just the overview, and then I'll set my camera up so I can show you inside each tote what I have and what I do with it and all that jazz. And then this is kind of where I sit here. That's the head of our bed. We have a really nice shabby chicy sleigh bed. It's really cool. It's not like old reclaimed wood or anything. It's what am I telling you? You guys don't care about that. Anyway, lots of purple in here and gray. My husband, he does not care. He lets me decorate, how I want. So mostly the bedroom is what's got a lot of purple in it. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of just set myself up with a tripod. So you're going to find yourself balanced on, let me show you this one first. I'll do that because I need this, because how I have you balanced on here when I try to film from my bedroom is I put a book up here, and then I prop the tripod here, and then I'm sitting here stitching. So let me show you this, since I have to use that for my table. So what I have in this one, I bought a bunch of these in Florida, and I have also some that are like this size, and I got them at Tuesday Morning. The best Tuesday Morning on the planet, in my opinion, because I've only been to the ones in Oregon and Florida, so I don't have a lot of experience on that one. But it was just the best. It was the best Tuesday Morning. They had the biggest craft supplies aisles. Nobody else hardly ever shopped there. They just had a lot of really cool stuff. So what I put in this one is I tried to organize most of like my vintage linens and doilies and different bits of, like the embroidery bits that I just showed you. These aren't supposed to be in here because I'm not going to cut these up. Sorry, the lighting's kind of bad. It's kind of a little bit of an overcast, rainy, drizzly Oregon day. But I got 3 of these, and they're little bags, but I meant to put those back in my room. Then I have like some linens and, fabrics and things like that in here. So I tried to, Battenberg lace and stuff like that. And there's just little bits of piano paper. And so I'm trying to organize these things to where it's like things in these totes, just so it's easier for me to find and sort for what I'm looking for. So there's that. I'll go ahead and show you my embroidery thing too while I'm up. Ooh, hope it doesn't make anybody sick. I'm trying to do the best I can. So this is an embroidery hoop that I got from Amazon. I can link it in case anybody's interested in it. I have tons and tons of the wood frames in all sizes and shapes. I've got a huge oval one that's, I can't even tell you. It's probably as long as my arm. It's huge. I got it for like $1 at my beloved St. Vinny's. I couldn't believe it. And it's older. Anyway, so I got this one so I could do hand embroidery without having to, I can use both my hands for some of the stitches. So you can flip this to where it's the smaller hoop, or you can have it with the bigger hoop. And I tend to use the larger hoop. And you can get these in different sizes. They have all different shapes and whatnot. And I just find it easier for me to do it that way. So these are some different embroidery stitches I was just practicing with the other day. This is the fishbone leaf, and I always forget the name of this one. It's so silly. It's I'll put it across the screen because sometimes I have like brain farts when I'm trying to film and I forget things. So, and then these are some of my early practicing stitches that I was doing like probably over a year ago. I was practicing with those. Looks really cool with the variegated embroidery thread. Just practicing different types of stitches here, and blanket stitch, and this one I'm just kind of doing little samplers. I'm just trying to get my hand at it, be able to be a little bit more comfortable with the flow so I can start incorporating some of these different decorative stitches into my projects and stuff. So just fun. It's just like adult coloring, kind of just doing all kinds of fun different stitches. And I'm watching TV, and there's the stem stitch. Let's see, the split stitch, and this is the back stitch, cross stitch, feather stitch. Still working on that one. And then this is the herringbone. And then the chain stitch, which is a really fun one to do. These are lazy daisies, just practicing putting those together. So that's kind of what I'm doing with just dinking around with embroidery when I'm, not doing sashiko stitching or just some of my, slow stitching. I really find it therapeutic to do embroidery because this is, I can just like sit there and just do stitches and stitches while I'm just watching movies or hanging out with Steve up here or whatever. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set my tripod up, and then I'll show you what I have in each of the baskets, and we will go from there. Okay, so I'm trying to do this the best angle I can, and I do have pajama pants on today. I did the other day, I just had shorts on. Anyway, so okay, this is about the best angle I can do. So this is just a wooden TV tray, and I kind of confiscated it from downstairs to use to hold stitching and stuff. So things were kind of contained into this first, and then that smaller basket that I showed you, and then it kind of grew from there. So what I put on here, this is kind of like my little mini work table. So after I finish a particular stitching project, I'll kind of clear everything off, put it back into the appropriate tote that I brought up here, little tub, and that way I can kind of keep myself semi-organized. And I will confess, I did clean this up a bit before I filmed it because it was getting quite messy. And this might be still messy for some people, but I'm doing the best I can with my circumstances of setting up here. So these are just some cute, you can really see them better on this one, really cute little, they're actually little kid plates. They're divided into threes. I got these from Target. They're like, I don't know, 49 cents a piece or $1 a piece, something like that. Really super inexpensive. And so I use these to put my little bits and bobs in when I'm working on stuff. And since I'm always stitching something purple, I kind of keep this one going all the time. And then I just have my current threads that I'm going to be using. Well, not these, not the blue, but the ones for the book, or the fabric journal cover I'm going to be stitching with you guys. I'm going to actually film me doing that once I'm done with this one. I kind of put those on here, and then I bring up like any embellishment type things I might want to put on. Like I have some, put that one down there. Like I have these little sequins that I got from some shop on Etsy. I don't remember which, but of course I've got, threads because that's how they're together. But I have like these little flat sequins I think I might want to stick on some of the when I do some of the embroidery work and whatnot. And then I have different threads and stuff. I typically these kind of find their way themselves down there because as I cut up more little bits of fabric and stuff, I kind of like to keep them on this tray if I can, but since I have a whole tote dedicated to this particular project, I've been kind of chucking them back in there. But these are just, you know, little puffs, but here in the States we call them yo-yos. So I have some of these that were for my father-in-law, his former wife, who passed away from cancer years and years and years ago. So I've been incorporating some of those, my projects, and then these are just little bits of linen and things from other projects that I've been working on. So I kind of just toss those there. I don't always bring up my other tote that holds all my needles and stuff, so I just keep a small variety of them up here in this tray. Sometimes I'll just grab this. Just some seam binding here. And maybe it's better if I kind of hold it up. It looks backwards when I'm doing this. It's so weird. Then I have a pin cushion, and then just some more fibers I'm going to be using. This is the bag that's holding my threads. Some of the threads I plan on reusing. I just kind of toss them in there just for now. Variety of scissors, and then I have my fabric pen, and then just a cheapo ruler up here so I can draw lines and whatnot on my embroidery hoop when I'm doing things. And then a little thing of vintage buttons. And then I'm kind of playing around with doing some small embroidery on these little wood frames that you can get from Hobby Lobby and stuff. So that's kind of what I have up here on there. And then for the project tote, I won't go into too much detail because I did share this in a prior video. But these are the items. This is what the materials that I gathered to work on a couple fabric books. This is one, I did do this off camera. One night I was just hurting pretty bad and I wanted something to kind of focus on. So this is some polka dot fabric. Just see if I can find a scrap here to show you. I didn't bring up a whole bunch of it. I just brought upstairs a little bit of scraps that I had left. I can't find a small piece, but if you look on this one here, which I am going to be stitching with you guys on camera, trying to poke myself. It's this fabric here, and it has those polka dots right there. What I did is I just did a bunch of French knots over top of the polka dots. So you can kind of see the dimension there. Those are just tons and tons of French knots. And then just did some basic stitching along the outer edge. Stitched down my title plate, which I'm not sure what's going to go there yet exactly. And just did the whip stitch, real random like right there. And then just a few cross stitches right there. So, and then I'm going to be putting a cover on the inside of that to cover the stitching. But this is the journal that, like I said, I'm going to be stitching with you guys. I'm going to set that up here as soon as I'm done with this video. But I talked about this in detail already, so I won't go into too much. But that's what I'm doing. So any little scraps that I have of when I'm cutting things off or whatever, I've just been chucking them into this tote, so this bin, so it all stays together. These are just some additional threads and cording and things that I brought up. I actually brought this up because I needed to mend a pair of Steve's linen shorts that we got when we were in Florida. We went to Cancun, and I'm waiting for the day that he's done with them so I can actually cut them apart and use the linen. So, but he still wants to wear them, so I just have a small mending project to do, so that'll be easy to do. What I have right here, this is actually from my scrapbooking days, and I still use it when I go to retreats and crops and stuff. When I bought this, I was storing like all my cat eye chalk inks in here. You can see the remnants. This is chestnut roan ink. It's the cat eye. They call it cat eye because of the shape of the ink pad, in case you're not familiar with those inks. They're chalk inks. But what I've been doing is I've just been putting some flosses, and these are thrifted flosses that I've got, and as I'm using them, I'm kind of unwinding them, which might seem like a waste of time for some people, but that's kind of stuff I enjoy. I like ironing and things like that, and I've just been kind of adapting them, putting them on these, because that's just how I want to store mine. It's not important for me to have to know the floss number, because I'm not. It's just not for me. I don't know how else to explain that. So I do keep the tags and stuff. I'll share how I do that when I do a video sharing how I organize my floss and stuff. If anybody's interested in that kind of thing. Part of my reach here, as I reach across you guys, in this bin here. Oops, sorry. It's moving the camera. Sorry guys. I gotta fix my viewfinder so I can make sure I'm back in frame. There we go. So in this bin, I have this basket here, and you'll see these in my craft room too. I bought a bunch of these from Walmart probably a year ago or less, I'm thinking, somewhere around there. They were two for like, I think $12. They had them in this really pretty lavender color, and then they had them in a burgundy, and they're from Better Homes and Garden, and they have these nice leather straps on the side, these handles. So what I've been tossing in here, this started when I was still crafting downstairs on our kitchen table until my rooms were ready for me to be moving into them. So that's so there's a lot of other items and stuff way down deep in here. But this is where I'm kind of tossing my little bits of trims and things like that, which is where I normally would put my little scrap bits, but it's like from the projects I'm working on. But as I said, I'm kind of tossing them into that bin just for now. So that's what I have over here. So I've kind of turned this bin into like holding all of my other embroidery flosses and my lint roller, because when I'm done, I clean off the bedspread so my husband's not rolling around in thread and floss all night long. And then I was gonna do a because all of my wooden spools are still packed. I think I might have shared this right. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, which I do a lot. I'm gonna do my own makeshift oh my goodness, Abby, not a snippet roll, but a little fabric roll thing, and it's just on this linen ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby a while back. And then I have some more of the yo-yos in here that are from my father-in-law. I have a bunch more. You'll see those when I show you guys my craft room. So I just kind of have that kind of stuff shoved in there just to kind of help contain it a little bit. And then I have just a few of my Wonder Clips here, and then I have some more on that wooden tray I just showed you. So, all right, I'm gonna pause for a second because I need to reach across and grab my other totes that I can't reach, and I'll be right back. Okay, so in this one I have kind of like holds my this little travel pouch that I have from Hobby Lobby. A lot of my different needles and some loose buttons and needles and stuff that I have. So these are kind of leftover from when I packed up a travel kit. We went to Washington last March, actually, for my mother-in-law's 70th birthday for a big party. These are some gloves I got from Amazon. They are for people who, I don't have arthritis yet in my hands and my fingers. More than likely I will, because my mom has rheumatoid arthritis, and the fact that I've had surgery on all of my fingers except for my thumbs and my pinkies so far, some of them twice. And so these add pressure, and especially since I'm recovering from that tendon repair, sometimes I'll just wear the left-handed one because it helps, and helps me to stitch longer. So I have those in here when I need those. Just some different button cover kits, because I'm going to work on some postage buttons, and just some paper piecing shapes. Now these are things I just recently ordered. I have these already downstairs in my totes, I don't know where, and I was just lazy and I just ordered some more until I get ready to unpack that kind of stuff. And then this is just another pin cushion that I have here. So that's what I have kind of floating around there. There's some fleece, there's some felt I just brought up, so I could put this in lining some different projects I want to do. And this one I kind of have, I try to organize, but in time it's kind of becoming other things, but that's okay, because I know kind of what's in where. But I have like some different linens in here. These are going to be fun to work on. I'm really itching to start playing with these fabrics, these linen scraps that I have. Aren't they just beautiful? Look at that. Hoping the lighting's okay. These are just beautiful. Some upholstery pieces. So this will be a fun little project to work on too, stitching, and of course I'll do that with all of you. So I have that and some quilt bits in here, just some muslin bits, some coffee dyed fabrics, and some scrim, and I have laces, all kinds of just miscellaneous types of fabrics and stuff in there, and laces and whatnots. And then last but not least, these are some project bags. I don't think I've uploaded the video yet, but I got these from an Etsy shop. It's called Little Boat 80, and I'll put their link their shop, but that's her business card. So this, I ordered this larger one. I have a proper video to show you, but this is a larger project bag. The fabric was supposed to be white, at least it was in the listing, but I still think it's really pretty. I love the purple toile on there, really nice. So I just have some slow stitch sample pieces in there. And then it came with a needle minder too, which is on my embroidery hoop, but I can't reach it right now. So last but not least in this one, I just have a lot of like my basics. Like I have flour sack towels, I have sheets, you know, bedding things that have been laundered. Everything I have is, I launder everything before I bring it to my house. And then I like flour sack towels and different, you know, fabrics for doing embroidery, and just different textiles, and more scraps from quilts that I've pieced apart, things like that. This is some from a canvas drop cloth that I've washed. And then this is just some more thrifted textiles there. And then a shirt that I cut down to do some sashiko on. And then just some other fabrics and stuff. So that's kind of what I have for up here. Will I get to all this before, you know, I, you know, switch out my fabrics in different projects? No, probably not. But I like to have variety. That's me. And if you know me and know from my past videos and current and future videos, when I set up to do projects like my intros, it seems like I have everything but the kitchen sink on my table, but that is how my brain works. I am a very visual person. I like to see lots of things. It does not overwhelm me. I know for a lot of people it does, but it doesn't for me. And so I like to have choices and stuff. So, you know, I can't bring my whole entire craft room upstairs, which would be crazy to try to do, but I try to bring myself up a sampling. And I know this is extreme to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these totes, a purple basket, a wooden tray, a small plastic basket, and my embroidery hoop, and my loose bags of embroidery floss that I have up here. I know it's a lot, but that's just how I am. It's a struggle for me to try to downsize. And when I travel and stuff, and I take, you know, little sewing kits here, little, you know, paper projects, journal things to work on, then I can, you know, get things organized towards like in one tote. I have some totes that have like a lid with a handle. It's got like a tray and there's space, and those are perfect for me. So I can organize because I can really dial myself into a specific project or whatever. But when I'm just kind of wanting to work on different things, I like to have a variety of linens and different fabrics, because I get inspired by looking at all of these lovely textiles. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fun for me. And I like the act of, you know, kind of thrifting, or not thrifting, but kind of sifting through my different things that I have, and kind of, you know, I guess shopping my stash, so to speak. I mean, just looking at this, it's just so pretty to me. It's just so inspiring to see, you know, these linens with the older embroidery on it. And then I have some, you know, new fabric and some older lace that I can take out, and, you know, some new lace that I've gotten from past design team projects, and old kits that I purchased from a couple years ago off different, you know, YouTube channels and whatnot, and, you know, just all kinds of fun stuff. And it's just inspiring for me to look at all this. I get inspired to create a different texture, or to add another element to a project or something. I even have some wedding dress applique bits up here too. So just all kinds of fun stuff. I am going to be doing some dyeing, some eco dyeing of fabrics and stuff, and I will set it up to where I can show you guys, film me doing that. I'll try to do my best, because I do it in the kitchen, and I can't, if my husband's downstairs and the family's downstairs doing stuff, you know, I'll just have to put, like, you know, either do a voiceover to it or put some music or something, because I don't want to make my family not live because I decide I want to do something downstairs in the kitchen. They're pretty good about, you know, giving my space and stuff, but, you know, I'll do my best when it comes to that point. But this is some stuff I love. Every year at Halloween time, and I know I'm not the only one, for years, for years and years I've done this. When they have their Halloween decor out, this is their netting that they have, and it comes in gray. I have the gray up here too. The gray is a little more tightly woven, and you can get it in black, but you can make this come apart if you want to. This is a great material to use in your projects, journals, or whatever it is you're working on. And this is a looser weave, and this is also great, and this stuff dyes wonderfully. I've dyed this with coffee and tea and avocado, all kinds of fun stuff. So, but I'm definitely going to be doing like this right here is just so lovely. I'm going to pull this out and put it in my bin over there, because I think I want to stitch that on one of the pages. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling with this. I thought I'd just do a quick video, well, quick for Abby, and share with you kind of what my setup is upstairs here when I'm just working on stitching projects and stuff, and just kind of what I do for my setup. And I thought you might be interested in seeing that. And again, I know this might be extremely excessive for a lot of you folks out there, and that's okay. If you want to simplify yours and have it just be in one bin, that's totally doable thing too. I just kind of wanted to share what my setup is, at least for right now. It always does kind of change. It evolves as to what my needs are. So maybe you can just take a little piece of what I've shared and make one small tote for yourself if that's a little bit more feasible or what you prefer. Or if you're like me and you want everything but the kitchen sink as a variety, you might have tons of bins like I have right now. So it just depends on what you like and what really gets your creativity going and sparks that interest to get in there and just to continue to create. So this has been a huge piece for me, a huge motivational thing for me, and another tool in my arsenal of ways to distract myself from my chronic pain, especially in the depression that comes with that, especially in this time right now when all of us are, sheltered in place and, social distancing and not being able to go out and do our normal haunts, even for introverts. I know that there's some out there that are, that I follow on different social media platforms that are kind of struggling. Because, sometimes it is relaxing for people just to walk through a thrift store or walk through, any kind of a regular store without having to have only 20 people in the store at a time, that kind of thing. So this is just something that I found to be very helpful for me during times like this. So anyway, I'm ready to start stitching. So I'm going to wrap this one up and I'll come back on and we'll start doing some stitching on this book cover here. And then when I get all the stitching done, as much as I can work on up here, when it gets to be to the innards of the project where I'm doing paper and different things like that, then we'll be finishing this downstairs in my craft room. So, and this journal will be up for sale when I get it done, as well as the smaller one. So, but I really want to focus on doing this one with you guys as much as I possibly can. I can't promise that I won't do a little bit of stitching when I'm having a rough time or something, if I don't feel like working on something else, but I will do my best to do as much of this as possible with you, all of you, because you seem really interested in me doing that, and I think that'd be a lot of fun, and we'll go from there. So I will see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay healthy. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!